Well, this is it, ladies and gentlemen. The last episode for Volume 13 of the light novels. And many say online that this is where the true story begins, where the story truly has a plot, a goal, an end game, one might say. What is that? Boy, I wish I could say, but you will find out sooner or later. But when you do, it's going to be crazy. People are going to love this very, very much. But anyways, like I said, Mushoku Tensei does this thing where everything's all nice and calm. You get to see the characters, the life, the crazy shenanigans, and then out of nowhere something happens. What's going to happen? I won't say, but certain things have been brewing in the background if you have been paying attention. Only really three major things really happened in this episode. And the first one you already know is graduation day. And Persona and Rena, the two Beast Princes, decide to graduate. And they're having their duel. And this duel, to them, was serious, as despite Ruius was making a joke of it, acting like a ring announcer. And he was the only one having fun with it. Everyone was taking it seriously. Even Nanahoshi looking at him like, really, dude? You're doing this right now? Doing ring announcement as they're doing this serious fight to see who will take over the village. The thing is that one of them wanted to be free. One rules and one be free, do what they want. Ruling is more important than one's being free, so the winner will become the ruler of the village. The other one will get to do what they want. And Persona wins. She wins by pretty much choking her out, is what I believe. In the light novels, I believe they punched each other and one fell and one got up, as I recall. So they did a bit differently. But anyways, the fight looked less goofy in the anime than it did in the light novels, which is very interesting. I don't think the manga got up to this point just yet, so they're a bit behind. But anyways, yes, the winner of this fight was Persona, the dog girl, and she is on her way to become the next ruler of the village. While Rena sits there and reflects, wanting to finally be free and make it big time by becoming a merchant and traveling the world. And off she goes. So despite this nice, cool, emotional partings of ways that they did, they both ended up on the same cart yelling at each other. Those two are inseparable, but they get to hang out with each other one last time before they go their separate ways to adulthood. Very interesting. It's also interesting how the two of them could never find a beast person that could outbeat them, despite Ruius literally going to the beast village himself and even finding some quite strong warriors. So you mean to tell me that generation batch of beastkin aren't that strong? It's saying something. Like, wow, I worry for that village. But anyways, I'm thinking too deep into this. Next part is with Nanahoshi and her experiments of summoning something into this world that has more organic life. With the help of Ruius and his huge mana pool, she was able to summon a watermelon. Yes. There's tons of melons out there in the world. You know, it took me years to really find out that there's different kinds of melons out there. Because I've only known watermelons, but I knew there's all kinds of different melons out there. And only ours is called the watermelon. But there's plenty of them, some in the Middle Eastern, some in the tropicals, some in Japan, all kinds of melons. But the only one I've ever ate in my entire life was watermelon. So hopefully one day, I'll go to an exotic store and buy myself a different kind of melon. But she summons it as a great success. She can't do a pinpoint location. I like how they're really taking their time when it comes to the theories of transportation and summoning magic, in a way. Saying that it's not that easy as it looks. You know, you need preparations. You need to know who are you trying to summon. Can you go into that same exact location? Where is it going to be at? What time will it be at? Because when you really think about it, there's a lot to go into magical summoning. The thing about when people create magic is to explain ways for people to do things who didn't understand how to do them. That's the main reason why magic was created. Like, how you do that? You don't know, so you just call it magic. an unexplained way to doing things, in a sense. Is just think about it. To really summon someone from another world, you must know the time, what year, what day, what time it is. Then you must know the location, and you must know that exact person as well that you're trying to summon. You know, you can't just randomly summon something from that world. When you really think about it, the summoning magic makes no sense. You're just randomly summoning. Like, you can't just think of something, because what if you think of a person, but you might summon them as a baby, or you might summon them as an older person, or they might not even be from a different dimension. The possibilities, when you really think about summoning magic, it's very complicated. You know, it's just that other stories make it so simple, like, oh, I summon thee, and that's it. But there has to be layers to this. And we're seeing this circuits, the blueprints of magic. That's one of the things I do enjoy about Mushoku Tensei, is that it's showing that magic is this thing where you just chant a spell and that's it. There's incantations, there's circles, there's layers upon layers of how to do it. And believe it or not, a lot of people didn't understand how to do those said layers and stuff. And other people, there are different ideologies coming together to create that. Remember, Zenoba found out about the way you put magical circles in different places within the automaton. Cliff understood how putting layers, another layer on top of a circle for it to function right, like creating a robot or a machine. And with Rudia's mana pool, they were able to truly summon something special in a way, discovering how magic can truly be expanded in that world. Something that not a lot of shows really go upon. To them, it's just potions or you thinking of something and that's it. One of the things I do appreciate about this story is the reason why I like it so much. It makes you put into thought about the process of certain things. Trial and error and all that. And then the next thing that happens is Norm. In the beginning, during the graduation, Norm was looking at Rudius in a very uncomfortable way. And he thought, oh, maybe I embarrassed her again this time. Because, Rudius just used to that when it comes to Norm. But no, what Norm really wanted was her being kind of nervous. She wanted to ask Rudius if she could join the student council. Ariel has invited her to be a part of it. And she wanted to get Rudius' approval. And poor Rudius says yes, just make sure your grades are okay, as long with the sword practice, and as well as writing the book for the superb people. Yeah, I wonder how many people remember about that. That's one of the things she was doing. Another thing I think they skipped, is Norm's fan club. Norm had the fan club of people who like her because she isn't something special, but she tries her best. So a bunch of people admire her from a distance, in a way. And Rudius caught them one day when they were training. Another thing they skipped on Norn's sword training. Norn sword trains with Rudius, and they skipped out on that as well. They also skipped out on a part where Zenoba chokes out Judy. Yes, the knight that once served Zenoba, that went to go traveling with the two sisters, believe it or not, she went back to serving Zenoba. And she insulted Roxy, or was it Rudius, in a way, and Zenoba got very offended and choked her out. They skipped that part. There's some things they skipped, and some things I wish they didn't skip, because it would show more of that said character and just being a supporting character, but that character truly had their own personality and their own viewpoint. So there are things I feel like they could have shown in the anime. I wish they did. It will make people question the characters and whether or not they want to still support them or not. But oh well. But anyways, last thing they talked about is Nahoshi giving information to Rudius about this person, this individual who's so powerful, so old, they could help cure Rudius' mother, Zenith. That they live high up in the sky, the Chaos Breaker, Progress, the Dragon King. He is one of the 3 heroes who took down the demon god many, many years ago. And we've seen his castle. We've even seen him talk once before during Season 1. That's right, we're pulling characters from Season 1 and Season 3. Everything about Mushoku Tensei has a purpose and a reason. Every little thing that happens has a chain of an effect. Remember when Ghislaine was fighting a certain masked individual before the Mana incident? Those are one of Purvis' servants, and they believe it came from Rudius, but that was not the fact. Very, very interesting. You get to see this character. Who are they and what they're on about, and how they get the chance to live in such an amazing castle, a castle that flies all over the globe, the Chaos Breaker. Ooh boy, this is where the story truly starts. I hope you guys are ready, because that'll be one hell of a ride. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. But anyways, I dragged this on long enough. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and of course, hit that bell icon. Just as the background, all anime. Signing out.